been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart, like I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true.
I think what he's saying is true, but at the same time, there's other factors that go into it. It's kind of like what people say when they're like, work smarter, not harder. Is working hard important? Yes, you do have to work hard at anything you do in order to be successful. But at the same time, you still got to have the right strategy and you still got to meet the right people. Just because you can't just have one factor, there's got to be multiple factors.
Yeah, I don't know how he said it is false, but if he meant it how you mean it, sure. But the way he said it, maybe he's just doing it because it's fresh on his heart and he hasn't had time to articulate himself that well. But just to say flat out that hard work does not pay off, to make that statement as a matter of fact statement is false. It's just false. For example, if you want to become a doctor and you go to school and you study like you need to, and you take the MCAT and you go to med school, you go to residency and you blah, 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 go specialize in something if you want to, and you work hard at it, you're going to become a doctor, unless you're just not intelligent enough. So you're gonna get there with hard work. Now, if you wanna become the top doctor or the person in charge of the hospital, you might need to know somebody for sure. But to say hard work does not pay off is false, but I don't think he meant it that literally. I think he probably meant it like you.
Yeah, to be like a top actor. Because technically, I mean, he's already an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the top Denzel Washington actor? No, but, he is an actor.
Yeah.
Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is.
I mean, that's true. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of people that go out to get a job. And then the person who's hiring only picks one person, where there's people that actually know more about the job than the person who got hired. Because a lot of times what they say, it's all about who you know versus what you know. So I mean,
like I said, I give him. I understand what he means.
Yeah,
I understand what he means. How he's saying it, like I said, is very extreme, but I understand what he means. And especially if you're talking about entertainment, like sports or acting, it's even amplified.
Yeah.
Especially in Hollywood. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, obviously in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or if you're talking about the NFL, obviously. There are people that are better than these athletes who we see, of course, but they don't make it because, they didn't get seen. But what about Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant was all about the Mamba mentality is hard work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, granted, his father was already connected. He was really tall. I mean, he had. I understand.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what he's saying is good, but I don't want it to discourage certain people, or to make people think they have to finesse or do things to kind of get themselves noticed that maybe they shouldn't do. That's all I'm saying.
But I also think it works in reverse too. There are people who have connections, but they don't work hard at all, and they get passed upon. Like, there's a lot of people, for example, take rappers. There are a lot of rappers that we've all heard on the radio that are not very good, but their work ethic is incredible. They release music so much, all the time, and they're getting heard more than the people that actually like lyricists and have really good lyrics and that tell an intricate story. Like, they're getting looked upon, but the thing is, you can't defeat the rappers who just keep putting out projects and keep putting out music, and they're always on TikTok and they're always dropping something. So like I said, it can work in reverse too, where all you do is hard work, but at the same time, that beats people who got natural talent.
Yeah, facts.
So I mean, like I said, it can work the other way too.
Is the scary thing, because I went to all the programs. I've done Broadway, I've done off-Broadway. I've been in the business 24 years. I've been in 2 Academy Award films. I've done independent films. I've done major motion pictures. Now I'm Captain America. So now what?
I missed that last point because he said, now I'm Captain America. So he said all the stuff he did that he worked hard for, and now he's Captain America. So he's contradicting himself, it sounds like.
What I think he's saying is that, like, he's done a lot of big things, but he's still not at that level where people say, Anthony Mackie, top actor, like Will Smith, for example.
Yeah.
And now he's saying, like, even me as Captain America, where I'm like, I pretty much seen as like the highest superhero, I'm still not getting that level of recognition that someone else who hasn't done as much work as I have gotten.
I think he needs to modify his statement. I think he can say, if he said what he said, he could say it again, but add in the fact Hollywood, acting. Because yes, it's a small circle and you're going to get chosen for different reasons. And by the way, no shot at Anthony Mackie, but maybe when it comes to being a lead actor, an A-list in all the big films, there has to be an it factor. And maybe he doesn't have the it factor.
My thing is this, I just think maybe he just hasn't gotten that role that's really spoke to him. So, for example, you'll have someone who, like Michael B. Jordan, right? So Michael B. Jordan was largely someone that like a lot of studios really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. But what happened? He knew the right person, Ryan Coogler, who put him in a lot of projects and allowed him to see different ranges of motion. So, for example, Michael B. probably wouldn't have gotten hired to be a villain. But then Ryan Coogler, who's done a lot of projects with him, who likes Michael B. Jordan, said, you know what, I'm going to give you a shot. And he got a shot as a villain, which is something he probably would have never gotten hired for. And he killed the role. He did a good job. So maybe I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he just needs to find the right partner in the business, which is part of what he's talking about. And he just needs to find the right script. Because there are certain scripts that play to certain actors' strengths. I think maybe Anthony Mackie hasn't had that kind of script yet. Like I saw the Captain America movie. I thought it was cool. Me in general, I don't really like the idea of the Falcon being Captain America. I mean, I thought that was kind of odd. It should have definitely been the Winter Soldier. But whatever, that's a story for a different day. But I don't think that's necessarily the best script for him. You know, I think he just got to find. I mean, listen, there's so many actors that haven't had a hit movie, and then they get that one hit movie, and then after that, we just see them as like amazing. Like, look at I can't pronounce his name, Mahershala Ali or whatever. I can't.
Oh yeah, Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, so he's done a lot of other films, but then like he had one film that just hit for him, and then after that, it's like we've seen him as like a top actor. I think the film was called like Moonlight or Moonshine. I can't remember the name. Never seen it, but I heard it was great.
I haven't seen it either, but I think it's called Moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I think it was that movie, and there was a movie before that people really saw him and was like, okay, he's a great actor.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah.
You know.
That could be it for him. I don't know. Could be the case.
Yeah, he just got to find something that fits, him and his tone and his roles. Because, there's certain people that I think are just easier to fit in certain places. Because maybe they don't have as much range as Anthony Mackie, but what they do, they can do really well. Like, people are like... So, for example, like what I was talking about, the actor who played in Moon Knight, Mahershala Ali, I can't pronounce it, whatever. Don't get on me for that. Well, you can, whatever. It's the internet. But, like, his voice, he has a certain tone in his voice that goes along good with a lot of characters. Like, you've seen him he's been in a couple different Marvel projects. He was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage. He made that first season. He was fantastic. And then he was in the Spider-Verse as the Prowler, but he just had that voice. You know what I'm saying? He had that voice and then his whole character. Like, it's really easy to play someone like that. Opposed to someone that can kind of do everything, because then you're kind of like, okay, well, you can do everything, but where exactly, So ultimately, do you think what he's saying is right? Good decision, bad decision?
No, what I think again, I'll repeat myself. What I think he's saying is right. But as he's saying it, I don't think it's right. So if that makes sense, like if he literally means that hard work just does not pay off, period, then I think he's wrong. But if he's saying that it's about who you know, along with hard work, and that's how you get to the top of where you need to be, sure.
I don't think this is necessarily a bad decision that he said it. I don't know if I'd necessarily tell my kids that.
No.
I mean, I don't have kids, but no. That's not something I would tell them that.
No.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do.
No, so that's what I'm saying.
You don't get nowhere.
No.
But, I mean, I can listen. I can understand someone who works very hard and you feel like you haven't gotten where you want to be. That's very frustrating. I would feel definitely very frustrated.
That's what I got from that. I got a little bit of he was frustrated, and then now he's kind of feeling a little bit, not defeated, but just frustrated. And so that came from that place. And that's a more personal thing, I think, than an overall hard work doesn't pay off. He's saying that he's worked very hard in his career, and it hasn't paid off how he's wanted it to. But that doesn't mean that the hard work doesn't pay off. It just means that he didn't get where he wanted to so far.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well for himself, by the way.
Great.
So, but, yeah.
All right, decision makers. If you think Anthony Mackie made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think he made a bad decision and he's petty, leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers, don't be unrecognized.